How wonderful is the living world! The wide range of living types is amazing. The extraordinary habitats in which we find living organisms, be it cold mountains, deciduous forests, oceans, freshwater lakes, deserts, or hot springs, leave us speechless. The ecological conflict and cooperation among members of population and among populations of a community or even the molecular traffic inside a cell make us deeply reflect on what indeed is life. This question has two implicit questions within it. The first is a technical one and seeks answer to what living is as opposed to the non-living, and the second is a philosophical one and seeks answer to what is the purpose of life. As scientists, we shall not attempt answering second question. We will try to reflect on what is living. So hello friends, I am Shobhik. You are watching Biological Entertainment. When we try to define living, we conventionally look for distinctive characteristics exhibited by living organisms. Growth, reproduction, ability to sense environment, and mount a suitable response come to our mind immediately as unique features of living organisms. One can add a few more features like metabolism, ability to self-replicate, self-organize, interact, and emergence to this list. Let us try to understand each of these. All living organisms grow. Increase in mass and increase in number of individuals are twin characteristics for growth. A multicellular organism grows by cell division. In plants, this growth by cell division occurs continuously throughout their lifespan. In animals, this growth is seen only up to a certain age. So that increase in body mass is considered as growth. Non-living objects also grow if we take increase in body mass as a certain for growth. Mountains, boulders, sand moulds do grow. However, this kind of growth exhibited by non-living objects by an accumulation of material on the surface. In living organisms, growth from inside. Growth therefore cannot be taken as defining property of living organisms. Conditions under which each can be observed in all living organisms have to be explained. And then we understand that it is a characteristic of living systems. Reproduction likewise is a characteristic of living organisms. In multicellular organisms, reproduction referred to the production of progeny processing features more or less similar to those of parents. Invariably and implicitly, we refer to sexual reproduction. Organisms reproduce by asexual means also, like fungi, multiply and spread easily due to the millions of asexual spores they produce. When it comes to unicellular organisms like bacteria, unicellular algae or amoeba, reproduction is synonym with growth, i.e. increase in number of cells. We have already defined growth as equivalent to increase in cell number or mass. Hence, we notice that in single-celled organisms, we are not very clear about the usage of these two terms, growth and reproduction. Further, there are many organisms which do not reproduce. Mule, sterile, worker bees, infertile human couples, etc. Hence, reproduction also cannot be all-inclusive defining characteristics of living organism. Of course, no non-living object is capable of reproducing or replicating by itself. Another characteristic of life is metabolism. All living organisms are made up of chemicals. These chemicals, small and big, belonging to various classes, size, functions, etc., are constantly being made and changed into some other biomolecules. These conversions are chemical reaction or metabolic reaction. There are thousands of metabolic reactions occurring simultaneously inside all living organisms, be they unicellular or multicellular. All plants, animals, fungi, microbes exhibit metabolism. The sum total of all chemical reactions occurring in our body is metabolism. no non-living objects exhibit metabolism. Hence, while metabolism is a defining feature of all living organisms without exception, isolated metabolic reactions in vitro are not living things but surely living reactions. Hence, cellular organization of body is the defining feature of life forms. The most obvious and technically complicated feature of all living organisms is this ability to sense their surroundings or environment and respond to these environmental stimuli, which could be physical, chemical, or biological. We sense our environment through our sense organs. Plant responds to external factors like light, water, temperature, and other organisms, pollutants, etc. All organisms, from the prokaryotes to the most complex eukaryotes, we can sense and respond to environmental cues. Photoperiod affects the reproduction of seasonal breeder, both plants and animals. All organisms handle chemical entering their bodies. All organisms therefore are aware of their surroundings. Human being is the only organism who is aware of himself, i.e. has self-consciousness. So consciousness therefore becomes the defining property of living organisms. When it comes to human beings, it is all the more difficult to define the living state. We observe patients lying on coma in hospital, virtually supported by machines which replace the heart and lungs. The patient is otherwise brain dead. The patient has no self-consciousness. Are such patients who never come back to normal life? What do you think? The person is living or non-living? So at the end, from the above discussion, we can conclude that the living organisms are self-replicating, evolving, and self-regulating interactive systems capable of responding to external stimuli. If you like this way of learning biology, then like this video. Share with your friends to learn biology very interestingly. If you want to join with us, then subscribe this channel. For any queries or suggestions, please comment down below. Thank you.